here. Wait. All right. Check, check. 1, 2. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, good. Yeah, I've got like an entire rat nest of cords right now to come in right now. I need to get a better setup, guys, but I'm at least coming through in high quality now. It used to be just like really crappy on my phone, so it's definitely a step up. But I think I'm still going to tinker a little bit and get the hang of this live streaming thing. And yeah, I am moderating myself right now. I think Andrea is on, and you're also you still have moderator status if you gotta give anybody the hook. So thank you, Andrea, for doing that for me. And yeah, so I want to do a live stream, as I said last time, like once a month. A little late this month. It's been kind of busy. It's been kind of busy, which I'll get into that. But yeah, I think probably the easiest way to bring this up, guys, is that I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is really good. The bad news is not that bad. But yeah, so I'll give you the good news first. The good news is that episode 500 is right around the corner. It's coming up really, really fast. I think the last episode I posted is 494, I think. So it's going to be like 6 weeks until I just gave it away. It's going to be 6 weeks until episode 500 comes out. And yeah, the bad news is that I'm going to have to reduce the number of videos that I put out. I've been doing 3 videos a week for a while now, and it's just getting a little bit difficult to work on what is going to be a rather large episode for episode 500, and also have to do 3 other videos a week just leading up to that big episode. So I want episode 500 to really be good. So I want to put all my efforts into it, or like nearly all my efforts into it going forward. So yeah, good news. Episode 500 is going to be big. It should be really good. And I think it's going to be a good one. It's going to be something special. The bad news is that we're going down to only 1 video a week. Maybe two. It's going to be 1 fruit video a week on every... It usually, in case for anyone that doesn't know, it's usually Sunday and Wednesday I put a fruit review where I try a new species of fruit, a new variety of fruit. And then Friday is grab bag day. So whenever I put out a junk food review or amazing plants or, that's not coffee, like or the cabinet of curiosities, any of those like offbeat videos, those are always going out on Fridays. The pepper reviews are also not part of the fruit review universe. It's a separate universe. The pepper reviews are also a Friday video. So those ones can be rather easy to do for me. The fruit reviews take time, though. So I'm definitely just going to be putting out a fruit review on Sundays. And then the Friday review, I think I will actually switch that to Wednesday. So there's going to be a video on Sunday and Wednesday. Friday, I'm going to cut out. And that episode on Wednesday may or may not happen. There's going to at least be 1 a week, maybe 1 plus a bonus on Wednesday, depending on how things are going along with episode 500. Which, yeah, so about a month from now, sometime I guess it'll be in the beginning of October, will be the big episode 500. So far, it's coming along really well. And I'm going to unveil what the episode is in case anyone hasn't figured it out already. Let me take a moment to look down. I'm looking at a computer screen down here to see comments and everything. So let me just get an idea what's going on over here. Make sure you're all doing okay. You can hear me and everything. You should try muscadine grapes, says Moo Meow. Moo Meow, I have had muscadine grapes. I have had muscadine grapes at some point. I don't know what episode it was, but yeah, that happened at some point down there. Oh, and a lot of people are talking about the milk. Before we talk about the unveiling, let's talk about the milk some. Because I think that also will be like a little bit of a schedule shift. And this is kind of like how my brain works. I decided to do those fake milk face-offs or plant milk face-off if you're offended by the use of fake milk. I came up with the idea to do that in order to, well, it's been kind of in my head, but also to space out the fruit reviews a little bit. So the fake milk face-off was going to be on Wednesday, and then Sunday would be a fruit review, and then Friday would be a grab bag video. And that was me being strategic so I can get more time to work on episode 500. But then, like, my crazy brain starts, like, spinning wheels, and I decided to make these fake milk face-offs, like, incredibly epic by referencing movies and recreating entire scenes of movies using milk cartons, which, believe it or not, takes a long time to do. So the idea of doing that once a week in order to save time ended up taking up all the time plus more that was going to go towards the 500th episode. So gonna change things. Gonna change things a little bit with that. I still want to keep making the fake milk face-off videos, but I'm going to change it to being in the rotation of Friday videos, grab bag videos, and that's gonna probably be like once a month. For a while, I was doing once a week. Like when I first came out, it was once a week, like almond milk and cashew milk and soy milk and rice milk, and like every week was another one. And that just took all the time. I didn't work on the episode 500 like at all when I was doing that because it just took so much time to do. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to fix that, and I'm going to now do the milk face-offs once a month, just to give me more time also with the episode 500. Also, yeah, unfortunately, those do not do well. All honesty, real talk, yeah, those milk videos, nobody watches them comparatively. The people who do watch them, and I know like anyone who's watching me right now, you probably have seen those milk videos and you're the ones that like them. But for some reason, the algorithm on YouTube or whatever, people don't like those videos. They are consistently, like, I get like a little analytics rating on YouTube to see where my videos rank out of the past 10 videos. And every single time I put on a milk video, it's always like 9 or 10. It's always like the way at the bottom of the list, and it was actually like hurting my YouTube channel to be putting out so many. So I would like to put out more of them. It seems like the people who do like those videos really, really like them, but for whatever reason, it's not being recommended enough, or people who are watching it are clicking start and then seeing like this weird interaction that I made with milk cartons and being like, what the hell is this? And like clicking out. That's probably what it is. So yeah, this is gonna, like, the milk videos are going to be they're still gonna happen because honestly it's a lot of fun to do, but for the health of my YouTube channel, I'm gonna have to reduce it down to being once a month instead of every week, for also in order to give myself more time for episode 500. So I'm going to take another break, drink some water, see what you guys are saying. I can't, because my camera is up here and not at my computer, which I have, I'm afraid to lift it up. I've got a computer over here that I'm looking at your comments on. Mine that I'm not looking at you right now, guys, and I'm looking down. Manda B, thank you. Thank you so much for that contribution. She said, my cat, the Omega Weapon, wants to buy some treats for Vostok. Well, thank you very much. Those $5 are going to go towards Temptations, which are like crack to my cat. And if I do not give her Temptations at certain times a day, she will be relentless. Like, she will literally like be the only reason why I don't have a cat like on my shoulder headbutting me like a little goat is that she's gotten her treats already. That's just like how she works. If I don't give her these treats, she flips out. And it has to be Temptation. She loves those things. So Manda B, thank you very much. I will get her some Temptations for you. If you have any special requests on what flavor of Temptations, let me know, Manda B, because I will get her something specially for you. A lot of people agree with the Temptations, Jolly Mad Hatter and Sashwap. Yeah, those, I don't know what they put in those things, but like cats flip out. And what's funny is that when I bought her Temptations for the first time, I went on Amazon and looked at Amazon reviews, and there were negative comments because their cat was getting too demanding for them. They're like, this treat is, my cat likes this treat so much that I'm going to give this 1 star because my cat is making my life a living hell. That's what people were reviewing on Amazon. And yeah, I can see that. It is, my cat is getting kind of annoying about her Temptations treats, but it's also kind of cute, so it's all right. Manda B says, get her something fishy. You got it. I'll get her some salmon once. She likes those. And okay, so next up, I think it's probably time to do the unveiling of what episode 500 will be. I've dropped hints, and the thumbnail to this live stream, I think if you squint at it, you probably know what it is. But for those that don't know about this fruit, I found Cloudberry. And in order to find Cloudberry, I had to go on an epic journey to Finland. So I went to Finland. I shot a few videos there, not a ton. I think there's like 10 or so videos in Finland and a few other areas around there. I'm going to keep some surprise to where I was, but most of the videos are going to be in Finland. And I'm going to start off the Finland series, all 10 or 12 of them or whatever it is, with episode 500. So when that comes around, that's going to be the introduction to that chapter of the series. And Cloudberry was really hard to find. It's something that is, it's like one of those things. It's one of the, like, I knew that I had to try this eventually just because it has the reputation of being such an elusive fruit. It's one that's so hard to find. You can't, like, the moment you pick it, it goes bad. It's they grow in a really weird way, so people actually can't cultivate them commercially. I think maybe it's happening a little bit, but they grow so inconsistently that if you go to any kind of market that sells them, and a lot of Cloudberry products also, they're wild. Like, people go out into the forests of Nordic Europe, so like Finland, Norway, and Sweden, and they go out and they find wild cloudberries, and then they sell them or make jams out of them and stuff like that. So to find them fresh is the really hard thing. And to do that, it took me basically going all around Finland, going to markets, going into the woods, like talking to people, like trying to find it. So yeah, it was a big adventure to do it, and this is going to be not as big as my Coco de Mer video. The Coco de Mer video was something special. That was a 5-part feature-length fruit review that I did in the Seychelles for episode 400, and you know, I didn't realize that Coco de Mer was going to be that big when and until like basically after the fact. I figured it would be a long episode, but not as long as it ended up being. But there was just so much to talk about with the Cloudberry. There is quite a lot to talk about, but it doesn't have quite as deep of a rabbit hole as the Coco de Mer did. So the Cloudberry is going to be a singular episode, but it's going to be big. It's probably going to be like a half an hour long or something, and not just focus on the berry itself, but more of like the adventure in finding it. So I wanted to do something different, basically, because I've had a few very large episodes, and I think like I want to deal with these large episodes with kind of like something in mind. Like when I did the Coco de Mer, that was all about doing like a deep dive into the history of it, mixed with my own adventure. Like I really wanted to focus on the history and the culture and all of that. With the Cloudberry, since this is my 500th episode, and I've had at least 500 different fruits. Some episodes have several in them. I've had hundreds of different fruit. I wanted to kind of highlight the hunt. I wanted to highlight the adventure in finding something that's hard to get. And I think the Cloudberry was a good one to choose for that. So this is not going to be so much of a deep dive into the history of the fruit. There's a little bit of that, but it's going to be more of like following me as I try to find it. So it's going to be a little bit of a different scope looking at it. And the other thing that I wanted to highlight in it is just like a little reflection back at some of the things that I've found. So right now I'm working on an introduction for it. I've gotten like a little bit into it. I'm probably like a fourth of the way through all the footage I have. And the whole first like 5 minutes of it are just fruit porn, just like all the different crazy things that I found over the past 8 years of doing this channel. So I like it. I like how it's coming out. I hope everybody, when it does come out, you guys are going to enjoy it. It's going to be a little bit different than other ones, but I like how it's coming along so far, and hopefully it's going to be well received and everything by the YouTube gods as well, because it's a big one. It's a big milestone to do 500 episodes, so I wanted to make sure that this one was special. Before I go any further, Ken just gave a contribution of $10. Ken, thank you so much. And for those that don't know, Ken has also contributed like a whole bunch of peppers in the past. All those ones that were like really killing me, that I was just doing on my own. That was all Ken. That was all Ken's doing. So Ken, thank you for this strange relationship, like mildly abusive relationship that we have here, where you are giving me such wonderful things, but some of those things cause horrible, horrible suffering to me with these like difficult peppers to deal with. So let's see. What did Ken say? Ken asked, where do you plan on going when Americans are unbanned from the rest of the world? And where should I go as an amateur fruit hunter? What's the next big fruit on your list? Those are 3 very good questions, Ken. Okay, so the first one is, where do I plan on going when I am unbanned from the rest of the world? it's yet to be decided, just because like being in the United States, like I've looked into travel, and although like I live in New York City, which initially like the COVID just we got hit first, but everybody in New York like really like hunkered down and did their due diligence, and now like it's one of the safer places to be in the country, or possibly safest places to be in the country because of all the work. So like I'm impressed with how New Yorkers have handled things, and even like in like walking around New York City, you see almost everybody is well, not almost everybody, but more people than you would expect are following the regulations, wearing masks, keeping distance, like behaving, for you definitely have people who aren't, as I'm sure you have anywhere, but like people are actually doing pretty well here. But the rest of the country isn't. There's a lot of cases here, and because of that, when I've looked into travel options, a lot of countries have opened their borders, but they'll open it to everybody except X, Y, and Z country, like countries that have the most cases. And some countries will only open it. Some countries will open it to anybody except the United States. So the options for Americans right now to go to another country are much more narrow than others. And that is something that is changing as things go forward, and things are going up and down. We might have a second wave here, and maybe it would be a bad idea for me to travel. Right now, I feel like I don't know. It's getting to the point where it's probably okay for people to be flying out of New York City. Cases are pretty low, but it's something that I'm watching. And right now, the places I could go would be a lot of places that are they have high numbers, so they aren't especially safe to go to. So you can go to Mexico right now. There's no regulation at all. I don't think they ever close their borders to travelers. Brazil is another place. There's a few. There's some islands that you can go to. There are a few others that you can go to, but with quarantine rules. So you can go, but only if you quarantine for 2 weeks. Some countries, like if you travel there, they force you to go to a hotel that you can't leave. So like they'll quarantine you and keep an eye on you, and then eventually you can go outside. So there's a lot of things are changing right now. So I think I'm probably not going to make the call on if or when or where I'm going to travel until maybe October. It's just too soon to say right now. If it ends up being a case where Brazil is still open and nowhere else is, and their numbers are okay, then maybe I'll go to Brazil. Maybe I'll go to Europe or something. I don't know. I don't really know right now, but I am definitely thinking about it on how this can be done. I have a travel-centric channel, and I can't travel right now. So it's at some point there's going to be a time where I feel like it's okay, and hopefully that time is going to be fairly soon. Like I said, I'm gonna kind of like not even think about it until October, because I normally would travel during the winter anyway. And I like to get away from the cold as well. So I think that's probably the best time to do it. So we'll take a look in about a month and a half, 2 months, and you'll see what the state of the world is then. But right now, I really don't know. Second question is, where should he go as an amateur fruit hunter? Depends how far you want to travel. If you're trying to go somewhere that is within the country, you have Florida. Florida is great. There's fruit collections there that are incredible. If not Florida, you can go to California, and not right now, but once things kind of get a little bit better with COVID and everything, you could try Hawaii or Puerto Rico. Those would be like probably the most accessible places. But if you're gonna go anywhere for fruit, Colombia was really good. Borneo is amazing. I mean, those were two big ones. It depends on what direction you're going in. Like every country has fruit, but for sheer diversity, I probably found the most stuff in those places. In Colombia, I only stopped there as a layover on the way to Bolivia, so I was only there for like 2 days, maybe 3 days, because my flight got pushed back, and I found more stuff in Colombia than I did in 2 weeks in Bolivia. So yeah, in just a layover, I found a ton. Like the markets there are crazy, but if you got some more time, Borneo is like unforgettable. That was an incredible trip. I found a lot of amazing things there, and it's pretty easy to just go from one end of the country to the other. At least in the Malaysian side. You can also go into the Indonesian side, but that is yeah, it's like the Wild West over there. It's very difficult to get around and stuff like that, but cool things to be found for sure. I've only made a dent in what's in Borneo. So hopefully I'll be able to get there again sometime soon. And finally, he asked me, what's the next big fruit on my list? I don't know. I don't know. It would really depend on where I end up going. I don't have one especially big one in mind. There are some, like I would love to be able to try like the jungle sop. That's one people ask me about all the time, and I really do want to try it. It'd be cool to try some of like the other rare durian species that are out there and durian varieties that are out there. It's really like there's so many different things. I think it would. I'm not too sure what the next big one would be. There are a few other epic ones like Coco de Mer and Cloudberry were always on my mind, but another one would be like finding the Kasusu. That's my white whale. I tried to find the Kasusu long ago, and it wasn't in season, so I've been wanting to go back and try to find that. So, if I had a choice for like an episode 600, probably be like Kasusu, but I don't know how practical that is. It's finding something like that's so difficult to find. And for those that don't know, Kasusu is like this crazy looking alien fruit. It looks like if you took like a golf ball made out of corn niblets and shoved rose apples in it. It's really weird looking, and I have no idea what it tastes like, but it's such like a bizarre looking fruit that it's always intrigued me. So yeah, but there's tons. There's just absolutely tons. And thank you so much again, Ken, for the contribution. I am going to take a moment here to move on to the review portion of the video. Want to keep things interesting. So I think in the live streams, the past couple that I've done and going forward also, there's going to be some point where I'm going to review something from my cupboard. So if you haven't seen past live streams, people send me a lot of stuff, and I've just been putting it in my cupboard because it's, finding the time to make reviews or video reviews for everything is sometimes it takes longer than I'd like. So if something is not crazy perishable, it goes into this mystery cupboard. And I think live streams are a good way to reach into that cupboard and pull things out of there. There's also stuff in that cupboard that like I just picked up. I'm like, I don't know what this is. It's kind of like vaguely fruit related or weird junk food or something like that. And I'll just like put that into that cupboard, and there it will stay until I make another live stream. So today I have something that was sent to me a while ago, about a year ago now. I hope it's still good. And I'm not sure if this person is watching or not, but it was, I want to say it right. It was not It was Subi-Roo. Maybe not Scooby-Roo, but Subi-Roo. Viewer Subi-Roo, if you're out there watching this now, say something, please. But otherwise, you'll see this in maybe a past video, I hope. But about a year ago, Subi-Roo sent me all these Pop Rocks. And it was because we were talking about how Pop Rock or candy will have artificial flavor that is mimicking fruit, and just, yeah, we're talking about that. And she sent me a bunch of candy that is fruit flavored. So we've got, let's see, we got strawberry, apple, Pop Rocks. I guess these are striking popping candy, not actual Pop Rocks. Peach, watermelon, and this is the one that she was interested in me trying, was the lychee. There's a lychee flavored one, or if you'd like, lychee. So let's see if this is still good. Yeah, Subaru, if you're watching this now, I apologize. It took me so long to address this very kind gift that you sent me in the mail. Let's, I don't know how to open it, though. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Ah, okay. So inside there are other, let me show you a close-up here. So we've got the main pouch, but inside the main pouch there are little, like, Sweet and Low packet sized popping candy. So let's I haven't had Pop Rocks or a related product in probably like 15 years or something, at least. Maybe longer. I can't remember the last time I had Pop Rocks. I was probably a child. Probably like 20, 25 years maybe. I don't know. It's been a while. So let's give it a try. Lychee striking popping candy. Let's go full like ASMR. This is my microphone. There you go. Now everyone's asleep, right? That takes me back. I think these are expired because it took so long for me to review them. Still popping. Still popping. And it does taste a lot like lychee. Absolutely. But it tastes like artificial, like lychee candy. Like last time I did a live stream, I was reviewing those little jelly things that I think Tyler sent me. This tastes just like that, like lychee candy, which is exactly what it is. But it also tastes like super, super sugary. Kind of like you took lychee and cotton candy flavor and mixed those together. That's what that tastes like. So the question of, does like artificial fruit flavor taste like the actual thing? In the case of lychee, not really. A little bit, though. It's got a little bit of that taste. But it's definitely different. I think if this were made from like a natural source, it would be more like lychee. I think it's like lychee is such a mild taste, too. So this thing, yeah, I'm tasting mostly sugar, like spun sugar, like cotton candy, and then like a little bit of a familiar lychee sort of flavor, but yeah, not exactly there. Maybe I'll try some more of those as I go along. And this is not cola, by the way. If this were cola, I'd be blowing up right now. It's just water. Okay, so let me take a look here if anyone's got any questions or anything. I think that might actually be all I have to say, too. I was going to actually bring up the travel stuff, but Ken asked me about that. So I think that's all the matters of business that I have to bring up. Episode 500 coming up, reviewing the popping candy, good news and bad news. There's stuff going on. Definitely always a lot of going on. So let's take a moment to ask some questions here, or answer some questions here. Kenny Diamond asked me if I've ever had magic velvet bean, Mucuna pruriens. I don't think so. Magic velvet bean. I'll have to look that one up. I've had velvet tamarind, which is, I believe, related to tamarind, but the outside of it is fuzzy, like velvet. That's the only thing I can think of that I've had that would maybe be what you're talking about. Targon Studios just contributed $2. Thank you very much, Targon Studios. What's my favorite flavor? I don't know. You mean the popping candy or fruit? My favorite fruit is the Lucac. Lucac is my favorite fruit, which is kind of like durian, but not so funky. It's more like a fruity tasting durian. Also like Atamoyas a lot. That's a good taste. I like Garcinias. Garcinias are amazing. Pawpaws are great. Any of those flavors. Those are my favorites. Isn't my favorite flavor pizza? Nope. I like pizza, though. Pizza's good. Mike Tilley asked if I've ever had mayhaw. Mayhaw, to those that don't know, is like... I've never seen one fresh, so that answers your question. I believe they're like little guys, kind of like apple-ish, I want to say. Like a small... in my head, it's like a little crab apple sort of thing. I've never had mayhaw, but I've had a mayhaw jam, or a mayhaw jelly, rather. And that was pretty good. It tasted like apple jelly to me. Yeah, but it was all right. Maybe like a little bit like of a berry flavor in there too. So, yeah, I haven't found it fresh yet. I would like to. It's something that people do use regionally around the U.S. And sometimes if you go to like a farmer's market or like a rest stop, you'll see mayhaw jam and mayhaw jelly, mayhaw syrup, but I've never seen the fruit itself. It's not something I think you find the fresh fruit very easily. Let's see. I'll take maybe 2 more questions before we call it quits. Let's see. John Lee asked if I've ever tried quince jelly or tea from quince. I don't think I've ever had quince tea, but I have a quince episode way back at some point, like a few years ago I did it, where I didn't make quince jelly, but I made quince cheese. And that's where you basically make a jelly out of it, or you make a jelly out of something that has a very high pectin content, and you boil it down even more, and it makes it into a solid block. And you can cut that and put it on like cheese, and you put it on toast and stuff like that. But it's like a solid like jelly rectangle basically that you make, and then you put that on food. I did that, and that was really good. I've never made the jam. I believe I've had the jam, and it's good. Quince jam is good. It's somewhere in between like apples and pears, and it's got a little bit of like a floral note to it that's kind of nice. So quince is really good. I definitely recommend quince if you haven't had that. Andrea, thank you so much for your moderating. I see that she's had to get rid of a few messages there. Guys, behave. Uh, oh, Targon just gave another contribution. Thank you again, Targon. That's very generous of you. He said that his message was mostly a joke. He just wanted to support the channel. His question was, what's my favorite flavor? Keep up the great content. One of my favorite channels. I love citrus fruits. His favorite is pomelo. What citrus do I recommend? God, there's so many. One that always comes to mind that I had just like was surprised with how good it was. And it was so good because of the kind of like tinkering that was done to create it, was the Satoka, which I had in Japan. Like imagine like a tangerine, but blown up, like a big, like juicy tangerine, but it was like dense too and like heavy for its size. It was really tasty. It had the flavor kind of like tangerine, but it was so flavorful, and the texture was so nice and it was like so juicy and everything. It always kind of like, it made a good impression on me. And what I like about citrus, and if you, I mean, you can tell from watching some of my past citrus videos, I'm always like breaking down like the parentage of things. Is it's like for some reason, maybe it's easy to hybridize citruses or something, but every citrus you have has parentage that is something else. Like, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe if you take a pomelo and a mandarin and you cross-pollinate it, so you hybridize those together, you take the pollen from one, put it on the other, it produces oranges. I believe that's it. And it's all like that. Like all citruses are like that. If you take one parent and another and you hybridize the fruit, you create completely different, very unique fruit. And a lot of the ones that we eat have parentage that are also fruit that we know. And it's just really interesting to me. And people like mad scientist sort of growers will take these different citrus fruits and combine them, and they have these crazy results. So I've been having a lot of fun, like kind of picking apart new citruses that I find. So I did one not that long ago called the cocktail grapefruit. And of course, like it's not a grapefruit. It's like something completely different. Like it's got crazy hybridized pollen all the way down to get to like this very unique fruit. And it's fun to kind of like trace back, like kind of like reverse engineer that to the original parents that started that fruit and how the different citruses were combined together to create another one. It's fun. It's fun. It's like totally mad science to me. But I love that about citruses. And the Satoka was not just delicious, but it also had crazy parentage to it. So, you know, that somebody designed it. It's just very fascinating to me. All right, I'll take one more question. I mean, if anyone gives a super chat, thank you so much. I'll try to answer any super chats that come in, and I apologize if any have kind of flown by while I was giving my whole Cloudberry talk. Let me know if I missed you. But oh, you're scrolling by. Let me get back. Bear with me, guys. The Onion Control contributed $5, and Onion Control asked if would I be stepping on your toes if I made a channel called Weird Vegetable Explorer? Yes. Yes, I'd have to break your thumbs. All right, next question. No, it's all right, I guess. That's what there's a lot of there are, you know, other YouTube channels out there that focus on fruit. I'm not the only one. And what I like about it is everybody has their own take on it. And I think that's the way to do it. If somebody were to make a YouTube channel that just like directly ripped me off, that would make me mad. But and people do that. People like sometimes will take my content even and like re-release it under their name to make money off of it. That stuff I don't like. But if someone makes a YouTube channel that is about fruit and does it like their own way, then yeah, that's great. YouTube is, there's so many creative ideas out there of doing that. But when someone like were to actually like take my name, yeah, it would make me mad. I think I don't like when like people take material from me as a professional entertainer. And with YouTube, we kind of don't like it either. But if somebody is, creating their own thing and it happens to be about fruit, or they're, creating an act that is, similar to mine, but it's like their own thing, then, that's fine. What's wrong with that? So I'll take one more question. Adrian Kotwitz asked, have I tried the sea grape yet? It's a seasonal Caribbean fruit, also found in southern Florida. It would make a great video. That's one that I really want to try. I haven't had sea grape, but it looks really cool. I have no idea what it tastes like. They look kind of like little grapes, but they're like, the color on it is very interesting. It's kind of like Easter colors, like pale blue and green, I believe. And yeah, they look neat. I've never had it. I mean, living in New York City, it does make it kind of difficult. It's not something that's going to show up at any markets here, but or in the woods here. Like, I'm not going to be able to forage that or anything. But I guess like if you're in Florida, it's something that you can actually find growing in the wild, I believe. So that might be a future episode when I can get down to Florida again, or somebody sells it online, or somebody sends it to me. Like, that would be the time for me to find sea grape. But just being here in New York, that's a tricky one to find. So I'd like to. I'm really curious about that one. Looks cool, but nope, haven't done it. And I think that is the end, guys. I've been talking for a while now. It's been almost an hour now. So thank you so much, everybody. I hope you enjoy this little live stream. And for those that didn't see from the beginning, yeah, big stuff happening. We've got the 500th episode coming up on the Cloudberry. That's going to be coming up in the next month and a half. And the bad news is, in order to do that, I'm going to have to bring down the videos a little bit. So it's going to be one video a week, maybe two, just so I have enough time to work on it. But other than that, a lot of things happening, a lot of exciting things there's going to be a lot of exciting things coming in the future on the channel. I'm always thinking of new ideas, and thank you so much, everybody, for your support. Thank you, everybody who has asked questions. I'm sorry if I didn't get to everything. And Andrea, thank you so much for moderating. And Subiru, thank you for the pop rocks. These were fun to try. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.